All right, decided to do a video for these 6 Marantz WC-22 cases I built. I've been posting the progress on these for a while now. I got a lot of people asking me questions, and no one bothers to really read what I write. So I'm just going to do a video, and hopefully this will answer all the questions you might have. I'm setting the price on these at $245 each plus shipping. You can probably find cases like this for cheaper. And if that's the case, I encourage you to do that. I don't want to hear it about the pricing. This is a lot of work. I did all of this without a shop, outdoors, underneath my carport, and in my dining room. And it's just a lot of work. And that's the price I'm setting. I think it's worth it. I mean, these things are going to last for 45 years or more anyway. So if you're going to give me a hard time about 25 or 40 bucks or whatever, then find one elsewhere. I'll be fine with that. I just wanted to point out a couple things though. I've got 3 walnut and 3 cherry, and these also come with the perforated metal panel, which is a slightly heavier gauge because the original gauge perforated is no longer, you just can't get that in the place I had fabricate these. This is all the best they could do. So I went up rather than down in the gauge. And you'll notice that it's a bit more sturdy than the original, so you're not going to have that problem where it bends down in the center. We're all used to seeing that. Another thing I wanted to point out is I'm going to ship these unfinished because I like that idea. If you you can finish it however you want, and I've got a few suggestions here. Just some things that I had laying around. I had a Wacko Danish oil, tongue oil, Howard's, and or you could stain it and go that route. And I did a board here I wanted to show you guys just a few different things, like this is tongue oil versus natural, and we've got the Howard's feed and wax versus natural, and both of these, I think my favorite's probably the tongue oil. That provides a protection barrier and it gives it a rich color. Howard's is awesome for maintenance, but I think in time Howard's will probably dry out a little bit, so you have to keep applying it every few weeks or months or whatever. A few other things. This is the same thing, the tongue oil on the cherry, and the Howard's on the bare cherry. And what else do I have? I've got the Danish oil. These both look, similar to the tongue oil. You just wanted to see, you can kind of get an idea of how saturated this is going to look when you put something on it. And then I also had a Mohawk stain. I was looking at a video and I was going to go that route, but I think I'm just going to do a natural tongue oil on the one that I keep. But this would be a medium brown walnut stain on cherry, if you were curious to see how that would look. And this would be medium brown walnut stain over walnut. I don't think that really does much. I think the tongue oil or the Danish oil is just going to make it look about the same on the walnut. So there's a few ideas there I thought I'd give you. The cheapest route would probably be get the feed and wax. You could go to any hardware store and pick this up. It's pretty cheap, and it's not super toxic or anything. You wipe it on with a rag and you'd be good to go. Same with these. Just grab a rag and wipe it in a couple coats and you'd probably be fine for a long time. So I'm going to ship these natural. A couple other things I wanted to point out. These were all built from measuring this original WC-22 that I have. I've had a half dozen of these over the years, and I can confirm that these cases that I built will fit a Marantz 2230, a 2220, and a 2215, and a 2245, because those were the receivers that I have had actually in this unit. Now, some of the other reproductions out there, if you look at the bottom, they have 6 or 8 holes. This one I have only has 4 holes, and that's the one that aligns with the holes on this 2230. And like I said, the 2220, 2215, and 2245. So I know, I can assure you that the cases I built will fit those models. If you have some other model, don't ask me, look it up online. That's up to you. I just built these based off of this one. And I basically did a 1-to-1 not tracing, but I laid down, stand by here, pull the panel off. I basically did like this. I took the took the one that I built, and then I laid down this directly on top of it, like that. And I took a drill bit that was 5/16 or whatever size this is, and dipped it in paint so it fit perfectly the hole, and I dropped it down and made a little mark on all four, and it was perfectly aligned to the face of this. So these holes, these mounting holes, are exact for matching this original WC-22 I have. And then you can see countersunk with the Forstner bit, and it looks pretty good. One last thing I wanted to talk about was the stuff I'm shipping with these guys. I'm going to give you some hardware with it. So I've got a set of screws here. These are the correct length. They have washers, lock washers, and nylon washers as well. If you choose to use your feet from your existing Marantz, you can use the screws that I'm providing, and all you have to do is substitute the nylon washer for your feet because they're the same thickness, and you'll be good to go. If you choose not to use these feet, you can use this to mount the receiver into the cabinet, and then what I would suggest is get some felt or rubber bumpers for the bottom of the case. Any hardware store will have that. And then the other thing is, if you look at these marks on my original here, there's some scraping that happens because the height of this is pretty tight. And if I ever do another batch of these, I'm going to probably add a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch to this height because it's pretty snug for this receiver. Now, one of the cabinets I have felt a little bit tighter. They're all very, very, very close, but the issue I was having is these screws on the bottom of these Marantz 22 series have these large dome heads, and that's what's catching on these on the bottom of these cases. So what you can do if you're not happy with how tight it is, or if you're having a hard time with one of my cases, is I'm going to send you a kit that has the correct thread and size screw. It just happens to be a flat top head, so it's not going to have the dome, and you're not going to have that issue about it scraping or fitting too snug on the way in here. So I think that's about it. Last thing, haven't boxed these up yet, but I'll leave the shipping zip code from Ann Arbor, Michigan 48103. I don't know how I'm going to box these up yet, but I'm going to try and find the cheapest route. I've got a 2230 here in pristine condition and completely redone by myself. Recapped lamps and everything, and some audiophile grade capacitors in the tone board, etc. This is a great unit. I just moved on to a 2245. This guy's for sale. If anyone's interested, hit me up. That's about it. Again, it's going to be, I guess, first come, first serve. Whoever wants to send me payment, it's going to be either Venmo or PayPal, and I'll leave that info in the post for the group. And I'd appreciate it if it is PayPal, that it's sent friends and family, so I don't have to pay any more fees. And I think that's about it. But thanks for watching this. I wasn't expecting it to be 8 minutes long, but it is. But there you go. Thanks. Bye.